Greetings, flesh wound horror freaks, and we're hoping you're having a very, very Merry Christmas. This is Slash Miss, and I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd,
Good evening.
Bah Humbugs,
Namaste.
and Mike Kruger.
Ho, 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 bitch.
So, Kruger, let the good folks know how Slash Miss works.
So what we do for our 12 Days of Slash Miss special is we rate and review a Christmas-themed horror film, and then towards the end of the show, we add that movie to a list compiled from our previous episodes and vote to eliminate one of those four films, leaving us with our top three Christmas horror films, aka our three final girls. And once we get to the 12th day of Slash Miss, we will pick one of those final girls as our tournament champion. So with that being said, Todd, why don't you give us our Slash Miss statistics and tell us what's up for contention tonight?
All right. Thank you. So eliminated thus far, we have ATM, 13 Sleigh Soul Christmas, Wind Chill, A Christmas Sleigh, and Puka.
Fuck yeah! Piece of shit.
What we still have is our final girls are Elves, Red Christmas, and The Day of the Beast. And up tonight is I Trapped the Devil. Dan, tell us about I Trapped the Devil.
So, I Trapped the Devil is a 2019 horror film from writer-director Josh Lobo. And in this one, Christmas is supposed to be a time for peace and joyful family reunions. But when Matt and his wife Karen show up unannounced at the home of his estranged brother Steve to celebrate the holidays, they are instead greeted with a horrifying surprise. Trapped in Steve's basement is a man, but not just any man. Steve believes that this hostage is none other than the devil himself. As shock and skepticism turn into fear and paranoia, Matt and Karen find themselves facing a terrifying quandary. Is Steve dangerously unhinged, or could the mysterious stranger really be the embodiment of evil incarnate? All right, I Trapped the Devil. So I was excited to do this one. So this is, I'm not sure intentionally, although it would pretty much have to be, inspired by the Twilight Zone season 2 episode Howling Man. Very similar to the point where you kind of have to call it for sure. Very, very similar storyline. And this is one I really enjoyed when I saw it. It's a low budget movie. This was shot in 9 days, which is kind of insane. And it's a very paranoia, extreme, slow burn, tension style movie. If you're looking for, big special effects or anything, that's not this. I was always really impressed with what they were able to accomplish, even with just the actor who we don't really see behind the door doing the voice of the devil or whoever he may or may not be. I always double this one up with a Michael Shannon film, Take Shelter. Different kind of movie, but still kind of similar. It's like, is this guy unhinged or is he actually on to something? I love these kinds of horror movies. We get AJ Bowen as Matt, who's kind of an indie horror royalty at this point. He's very, very good actor, been in the genre for a long time, but he doesn't do just anything. So I always kind of enjoy his work. Scott Pythrus, who plays Steve, also really compelling performance. It's rough because with a movie like this, if the acting's off, you don't have much of anything. And I think everybody does a very fine job, with that sort of slow building tension, just the isolation. It works really, really well. We do factor in, I know, like a Christmas feel to a lot of this. Maybe not the most visually Christmas movie, but at the same time, I would argue there is something, because Christmas is not always wonderful for everybody. Sometimes you're around family members that you don't get along with so well. So I would argue that it is still there in the movie. I really like this. It's another film that might frustrate some people that need everything, tied up into a nice little bow at the end, but I enjoy it quite a bit. And when you consider the budget and the limitations that they had trying to get this made, I think it's actually all very, very impressive. Just a really good psychological horror movie that doesn't quite get to that level of some of the A24 classics that we reference a lot, but it's still kind of in that vein, and it's one that I think slipped under a lot of people's radars. So you should check it out, I think, for Christmas. Kruger, what did you think?
I remember watching this when it first came out and being extremely disappointed, but it had been a few years, so I was looking forward to just seeing, already knowing where things went with the story and everything, seeing how it, held up for a second time watch. I will say the acting is very, very good, and the cinematography is great too, especially some of the uses of color. And there's these shots of Steve when he's just kind of slowly losing his mind, where the Christmas tree is lighting up in the back. Really, really cool stuff. And also the use of color, of the color red outside the basement door where the devil is supposedly trapped. That stuff is really good. But the story, to me at least, it feels like it takes a little too long to get going, and then when it does, it's a lot of dialogue heavy scenes and basically the three characters all arguing. But the last 40 minutes, it does have some creepy moments thrown in there that are a little bit satisfying. But like the ending, just to me, I needed a little bit more. And it doesn't really deliver. You don't see the devil necessarily or anything like that. And that's kind of like where just with the type of horror I like, that's where I would have liked to see it go. But overall, it's not bad, but it's not my personal cup of tea. But I do think people should check it out for a one-time watch, especially with the budget restrictions, the fact that it was shot in 9 days. It is impressive on that regard, but just as a whole, to me, it's not personally like what I would be super eager to rewatch anytime in the future.
Okay. Pugs?
All right. Well, when I first saw it, I liked it a lot, and that hasn't changed. I think the performances are super strong. And the visuals in this are like eye candy for me. There's all the red is great, but then they like steal from Suspiria, and we all know I don't really care for that movie, but like at points it does shine for visuals. So that part was really cool. I totally get what Kruger's saying though about the story. Like you stretched that shit way the fuck out. It could have been done like
in 22 minutes
in like Twilight Zone. But I do really like this movie, and I still feel strong about it. I think it's cool. I will say, let me put my misogyny hat on for a second. If they didn't listen to that stupid bitch, would have been no fucking problem,
dude. Well, and one thing I actually forgot to say is that I felt for Steve. If 2 of my family members showed up to my house on fucking Christmas unannounced when I'm just trying to be left the fuck alone, I'd be furious as fuck. So like at the beginning, I'm already siding with Steve. I'm like, whatever happens to these 2 pricks, whatever. Like you should have left the poor guy alone.
Steve didn't want them there. He didn't want to be there. The only fucking wrench in the gears was a Karen, and her name is Karen.
If there's tension, yeah, you announce that ahead of time. You don't just show up like that, because that's kind of a coin flip.
Well, not to mention all the shit the poor bastard has just been going through. Like, come on, it's stupid. I hate people like that because they're not doing it for the person; they're doing it for some stupid self-fulfilling bullshit, and it pisses me off.
No.
I agree.
Kruger would have just package pile drove everybody and made friends with the devil.
I would have been way nicer though. Thank you for the gift. You can leave.
No, I would have opened the door, said leave, closed it, and then went in the fucking basement and had some drinks with the devil.
And when they find out that, like what's down there, they had an out. You know what? We never saw you. Peace. Have a good fucking New Year. What about you, Mr. Todd? What did you think? Fuck that
my-
bitch, right?
well, yeah, but my opinion hasn't changed much since the last time. I'm with Kruger. 22 minutes would have been perfect, but technically, it probably would have been 25 because they didn't have as many commercials then.
Yeah.
Perfect. And yeah, it didn't give me the Christmas feeling at all. It's not the first movie that we've had out of these. While there was some visuals, it wasn't there long enough. It factored zero into the story. Which can be a problem, and it won't be the only time. Yeah, it just still,
They're
it's a-
dropping off presents, so like 0.5.
right.
I still sort of feel the trapped with family sort of angle. I can't say this one's totally devoid of it. It didn't need to be Christmas necessarily. I'll give
No.
you that, but
And-
you know,
And it's funny because I totally forgot I watched this the last time. So Dan's
Oh.
been like balls deep on this, so I'm expecting something like tremendous.
I still like it. I mean, it's not quite like
you
top
compared
tier,
you
but-
compared it to A24 top level shit, Dan.
no, not top level. I do think it's in that vein.
He
if you
did
like
say
those.
it's not the classics of A24.
Yeah.
But we
It
know
could
what Dan
be,
means.
But that's still a comparison and a high comparison.
Yeah,
But-
I'd say that's a good recommendation though. If you like that, I think maybe it depends. Some people like some of them, some people don't.
Here's your
but-
A24 on Wish. Yeah.
what's weird? Just a brief side thing. It's amazing how many people either
Claim
love
to be
and hate
A24.
Midsummer and Hereditary. Like I know a lot of people that hate one and love the other. It's so weird to me. I don't know what it is. I mean, they are different.
Well,
There's
one-
one that I like a lot more because it gives me, it delivers the goods on what I like as a horror fan. But I mean, Hereditary, I think there's definitely issues with that movie. I think it's a great
Ooh.
film, but there's things in there that make that like after if you have to also understand a lot of people are only going to watch a movie once. Right, Hereditary. I saw it the first time, thought half of it was great, half of it was and then I watched it a second time and I liked it a little bit better. But I think with a lot of these people, they're not even going to give it a second shot, and maybe they miss some stuff. With A24, there's a lot of not a lot is spelled out on the screen for you to just be able to follow a story as simple as you would with other stuff that isn't so art house. So.
Hereditary is definitely an onion.
That one's a masterpiece for
I
me.
concur.
But anyways, I trapped the devil.
Not.
Well,
I like it, but it's
not a
not.
masterpiece, but I
So-
love it. I still love it.
It's not bad or anything. It's just it's not for me. Let's rate it. Okay,
All right.
Dan gave it a 5. Am I
Okay.
wrong?
I give it a 4.
Oh,
not a
did you just
masterpiece.
call it a masterpiece like 5 times?
I didn't call it a fucking masterpiece.
You literally did. You
All right, you
legitimately.
want the exact
No.
quote?
Pause. You literally like 5 seconds ago called it a masterpiece.
No, he
No,
said
I
it isn't.
didn't.
He said it
Open
isn't.
your fucking ears, Todd.
He used the word masterpiece.
I did. I said it doesn't reach that level, but if you like those movies, this is a good recommendation.
No.
Flesh Wound Horror here for all your Christmas cheer.
Speaking of, okay, I know I never start with Dan on the ratings. It kind of threw me off
4.
that it wasn't a 5.
he's,
Kruger,
he's protective now.
I'm a 2.5 out of 5.
Pugs.
I am a 4 out of 5. I do think it's strong.
Okay, I'm with Kruger on this one. I'm a 2.5 out of 5.
Averages to about a 3. That's cool.
Probably about its honest rating.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's time. Who are we going to eliminate? Up for elimination is Elves, Red Christmas, Day of the Beast, and I Trap the Devil. Kruger,
Elves.
Pugs,
I Trap the Devil.
I Trap the Devil. Dan,
Oh, this is a kind of a tough mix. So I don't think it's gonna matter. Just give me a second. I'm just
No one's
well, it
rushing
only
here.
matters one way, Dan.
I'm gonna eliminate Red Christmas, but it doesn't matter.
So you're
right.
going to play. Your vote is for Red Christmas. We're going to eliminate.
Eliminate
the-
Red Christmas, but yeah.
No. You're
I vote to eliminate.
Thank you. We're eliminating I Trap the Devil.
Yes.
Jeez, Dan thinks he gets to just pick it and eliminate it himself.
I can't
Jesus
get rid
Christ.
of elves. I mean, good God.
All right, so there we go. I Trap the Devil, the masterpiece.
The 4 out of 5.
Uh,
But on that,
What do we do?
yeah.
more fighting next time, guys.
Where was
Be
the
sure to
name?
Get some here.
Flesh Wound patreon.com/Flesh Wound Features. It all starts at just $1. Please support us. We appreciate it. We give you a lot of extra content. Christmas cruelty right there. Time's running, get it in time for Christmas. Order it ASAP.
And
And
stocking stuffers.
awesome stocking stuffer too.
You should get two, one just to keep and one to watch.
There you go. And on that note, we'll see you back here next time for more Slashmas.
Good evening.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Bah humbug. I'll see
Release
you in
of a duck.
Racist fuck. I'll see you in Disneyland.